Hi Pisces, welcome back to the channel. Welcome in if you are new. There we go. We're just going to go ahead and jump right in. We're going to do our Celtic cross, standard Celtic cross, to see what energies are coming in for Pisces at this time. This is a new deck. I got it for my birthday and I love it. It is the Rosebud Tarot. It's adorable. You could probably find it online. I got it at a local esoteric store. All right, what came out when? Four of Fire, the Witch, which I believe is the Empress, or no, sorry, not Empress, High Priestess. Generosity of Air, Queen of Swords, interesting. Okay, and the Wheel in your near future. So your current energies. Four of Wands here showing up for you in a very stable, building a very solid foundation on something. This is also a very celebratory. This is the energy of like eloping, attending such things as like a spontaneous wedding, like beach weddings. It doesn't have to be even like super last minute. It could be something that has been planned for literal decades, but it's like very much celebratory and celebrating strong, solid, beautiful foundations and bright futures. It's very much, look at this, even just in this imagery, the typical imagery is like a literal beach with like an altar. You can't really tell what's going on. There's not people standing under it getting married, but it's very celebratory in energy, as is this. I love all the roses in this. I mean, I love flowers, so that's in the cosmic. It's a beautiful deck. If you have the opportunity to get it, absolutely recommend it. But this is a really, really good energy for you. It feels very stable. It feels very solid and very grounded. It's something that you can really lean into and build on, which I love for you because everybody wants stability and long-term success and stability, right? That's what this indicates for you, is blossoming, is growing, is being built upon. What's crossing you right now? I feel like you're second guessing your intuition. You're second guessing your, not, I don't want to say powers because that might like turn some heads, like really powers, but your gifts, your abilities, your strengths, your talents. I feel like you're kind of putting them on the back burner, where as you need to be nurturing them, exploring them, pouring into them instead of kind of ignoring them. I feel like that's your challenge right now, to lean into your intuition instead of second guessing it. This could be an inner dialogue that has come from years and years and years of listening to everyone around you, listening to other people's opinions, making other people's opinions of you doubt yourself, which is absolutely probably the worst thing. Absolutely probably the worst thing that you could do is to let other people's doubts of you instill doubt in yourself and let that become your inner dialogue. Lean into your intuition. You're a water sign. You are naturally very, very, very intuitive. If you want to become more intuitive, you can, but trust yourself. Trust your instincts. Recent past. Generosity of Air. That is the Queen of Swords. Very much says what they mean and means, wait, say what you mean what you say, I guess is how I should say that. No mincing words. It's like very straight to the point, very direct. And for people who aren't necessarily used to that, it can be a little bit abrasive. It can be a little bit like, whoa, what the fuck? Especially if this is you in this energy, and it is because we're talking about you right now. People are not necessarily used to being iced out by water signs. Water signs are typically very loving, they're very open, they're very warm, typically. I mean, yes, we have the exceptions of like cold waters, but what people tend to forget, and I mentioned this in Cancer's reading as well, because we got a lot of air, people tend to forget that water can very quickly become ice, and it can be very cold, and it can be very cutting when it needs to be. I feel like you needed to be, for whatever reason, there was something that needed to be said, there was something that needed to be done, and you had to do it. Don't ask me how I did it, I just did it. It was hard. Now you're moving on to the wheel. Everything is turning in your favor. Everything that is good for you, that is right for you, that is to expand you, to propel you forward, is coming in for you. Five of Wands. Five of Wands. Fire for your headspace right now. What you're thinking about. Just not great. Four of Earth. Okay, in your subconscious. This is not like my most favorite reading, but we're gonna roll with it because it's our first time reading in a while. It's our first time connecting in a while. The energies might be a little bit like slow to pick up. That's okay. We're only 6 minutes in. If I sound stuffy, it's because it's quite late and I'm typically asleep at this hour. But I'm trying to be productive and take advantage of the opportunity to record. So, having the means to do so. Right. Yes. Okay. I feel like because you've had to make some really tough decisions and because you've had to shift some really heavy energies, you are now being rewarded. There's still some residual stuff that you are working through. This Five of Fire, and you're sorry, I didn't mean to touch the mic. I'm not used to wearing one, so do forgive me if it scritches and muffles at times. ADHD. Five of Fire in your mind space indicates to me that you're still a little bit focused on like being lost in the crowd, being one of many, it being like not wanting to do something because there's already so many people doing it. There's already so much of it out there. How could I ever compare? How could I ever be better than? How can I ever have space for? But the thing about that frame of mind, that way of thinking, is that it's very limiting and it's not even close to the truth, because what others have done, you absolutely can do as well. What the universe has done for others, it can do for you, and it will do for you if you want it to, and if you ask, and if you believe, and you're open, and you allow, right? We have to do all of these things. We can't just demand, and we can't expect. We have to allow, and we have to ask, and we have to then accept, right? How many cards is this? It's one too many, but there's, again, okay, so this is a little bit better than Cancer's because it's a little bit more balanced, but there's quite a bit of air here for you as well. I don't know if it's like planetary, astrological. You would have to ask an astrologer. I am not one. I know a little bit about the stars and like some things, but not enough to know what's actively happening right now. But I feel like it has to do with some air. So, here together, I'm going to do these hopes and fears, okay? That's what we're going to flip it. Hopes and fears. Right. Okay. I feel like there's a little bit of residual, sorry, getting used to a new setup. The camera stand, tripod, whatever, is literally on top of my desk, and I tend to move my desk a lot, so that is going to need to be figured out. But tweaks, baby steps, right? Baby steps. Work with what you got. There is some residual. I don't know why I'm still shuffling that deck, because we're moving on to other things now. Get a grip. All right. 5 of fire. You're definitely holding on to a little bit of a competitive. God damn it. All right. We'll allow this. Pisces, fish, opportunities swimming towards you, rushing in for you. This is the good kind of go with the flow that I was referring to earlier when I said that you guys are feeling. Oh, that was in a different. I've tried to record this reading a few times, but the card apathetic the card of apathy. Wow, it's late. The card of apathy came out, and I was explaining that um, it was an energy of kind of letting things happen to you and going with the flow in a way of like lazy river, just kind of floating, not really making a decision because you just don't want to. This, however, is opportunity rushing towards you in the most abundant, delightful way. And we have ring under that. So what came out was crossroads. We're going to get to that after we actually talk about all of the tarot cards. I'm going to move on to your subconscious, which is also not my favorite. Fours, like I love the 4 here. I love the 4 of wands. 4 of coins, however. 4 of cups, however. Not so great. There's a feeling, again, there's some like residual, and it's like the very last little sweepings, the last little specks that need to be cleared out and gotten rid of from really, really old, outdated, not how you think, feel, or believe anymore, but there's still just a trace of them that needs to be cleared out. And that, again, is that coming from a place of lack and holding on too tightly to your resources. And once I do this, oh, I'm not going to have until here. Not wanting to spend because you don't want to go into a deficit, or feeling like you're going to go into a deficit if you spend. You're coming out of that way of thinking and living, honestly, because our thoughts create our reality, right? So if that's what you're thinking about, and you're thinking about, oh, I only make this much money every so often, so I'm having to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm having to, like, really, this is an energy of hoarding resources, hoarding your money because you don't think you're going to get more, essentially, is what this comes down to. And it being in your subconscious, again, tells me that there's some sort of inner dialogue that was instilled in you. And this could speak to a mother figure, this queen of air that is in your past. It could speak to that person and their ideas being instilled on you. Finally breaking away from that and seeing a new way of being, a new way of living, a new way of doing, and trusting yourself in the process is what I'm getting from that. What, baby girl? Are you going to come up here? Okay. Advice from Spirit. Knight of Cups. This is a very interesting energy to be advice from Spirit. It's very lighthearted and carefree and romantic. I'm getting like love letters and poems, songs. You could feel the urge, and if you do, Spirit is saying lean into it. There is something here for you. If you're getting like this overwhelming and maybe out of nowhere sense of like, I don't, not necessarily, the romance is the word, but it's deeper than that. It's like not necessarily romance outside of you, but I'm getting like romancing yourself, sweet talking yourself, writing yourself love letters and songs. Like if you have ideas for just random stuff that's like, where is this coming from? Or like having ideas of dates that you would really like to go on, or your life. Maybe you've just never really thought of your life in a very like poetic, beautiful way, but you're starting to. And Spirit is saying if you get glimmers of that, lean into that and embrace that. Put your rose colored glasses on is also what I'm hearing, because we love to see the world with rose colored glasses. It's beautiful. Energy around you at this time. More Knight energy. Knight of Wands in this case. This is a young fire energy. Someone who is very curious. Someone who is very. There are a lot of knights here. There are 3 out of the 4 knights. You could have a lot of younger. You could have sons, 3 of them to be specific, 3 children. They don't have to be male children. There could be you could have 3 suitors, 3 younger suitors, people who are trying to court you, and they're very different. We have a water sign who like, very romantic, very lovey, very PDA, affectionate, professing, expressing, all of these things. Then you have someone who is very fiery, very much adventurous, spontaneous, just wild is what I'm getting. And then you have here, but this one is in your hopes and your fears, and this is an air energy. So I absolutely get it. If this is indicating people, if you literally have 3 suitors, that's wild and sounds like so much for one person to like process. And um, yeah, especially for a Pisces, like where do you find the time? Seriously. This person, if that's what this is indicating, is very wishy-washy, in and out, back and forth, hot and cold. They're very like come in when they want to and then ghost when they're like for whatever reason. It really they don't need a reason, just because it's Tuesday and I want to, and they'll come back on Thursday because I want to. Like it's very in and out and unsure. All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. If that is your situation, Godspeed. I do not envy you. I'm so sorry. That sounds so rude. I'm sorry. But honestly, who has the time? Okay. Energies around you. Knight of Fire. For you right now, Spirit is saying if you want to embrace this energy, if you want to harness this energy, be playful, be spontaneous, do things that your inner child would jump for joy to do, whether that is like going on a road trip. I'm getting something very like adrenaline, um, motorcycles. I'm getting maybe you're taking like a cross country or thinking about wanting to. Maybe that is what spirit's saying. How you can tap into this energy is just be really spontaneous. Like if someone, maybe not that. No, not that. But say yes. Say yes more. You don't have to say yes to everything if you don't want to. If you're not in that space yet, if you're not quite like ready to be fully wide open, but if you have 3 people that are courting you, you might, I mean, there's something receptive about you, right? Right. Ooh, that breath. Anyways, uh-oh. We're crossing into like weird slap happy territory. It's way past my bedtime. This is going to be the last one I do. Hopes and fears. 8 of air, so more air energy in the Knight of Air. I feel like this is your fear. This is what you don't want in a commitment. You're someone who wants something very solid, something very firm, something very sure. You want your person to profess their love to you through and through in every situation, in front of you, behind you, beside you, like through and through. And that's not what this specific energy is. A younger, more immature, less like evolved air energy can be very hard on a water sign. That's just what it is. If you disagree, that's fine. I'm open to being disagreed with. I'm not offended by it. This is my opinion, my experience. Again, I have gathered a lot of them in my almost 40 years dwelling here. So take it for what it's worth, grain of salt, right? Your hope, though, is that you don't. Oh, this made me so sad. You don't ever want to be stuck in this situation again. This unknowing. I say this situation. This is the Knight of Swords. You don't ever want to feel stuck or chained to or in a commitment with someone who is unsure about you, who makes you feel unsure about yourself, who makes you question your sanity, to be honest, because it feels like in the past you've put your all into someone, into situations. It could be work too, it could be anything, a hobby, a band even. You put your all into something and it was just like non-committal. They weren't sure if they were going to go with you or wow, with you or not. They weren't sure about you. And that's your biggest fear. Feeling stuck, like you love someone, like you want to be with someone, and you're longing for someone who doesn't feel the same about you. But the outcome for you is the sun. Here comes the sun, little darling. Yes, absolutely. The sun is shining on you. We are coming into Leo season rapidly. We are smack dab in the middle of Cancer season right now, fellow water sign. So you could be feeling these very heavy, these very watery. For you, it's probably easy breezy because you're fish. You dwell in the depths, like, excuse me, all day. So it's probably a cakewalk for you. But if it's not, if you're feeling heavy, if you're feeling emotional, if you're feeling that from other people, like you're going through it because the people around you are going through it, and it's like, what the fuck, this is a lot, because not everybody knows how to handle this vast amount of emotions, right? The sun is coming. The sun is shining very, very soon. Sorry, I was looking at the back of the card. I just noticed their jewels, their rings and bracelets and stuff. This is an energy of vitality. This is an energy of like sunbathing and just soaking it in and not a care in the world. If you have a vacation planned, it's going to be like the kiss of life for you. Like Stella gets her groove back. It's going to be so wow. Invigorating, revitalizing, restoring. I'm just getting like overwhelmingly warm, comforting feelings. Okay, we're going to wrap this up. We got, for the Lenormand card, the Crossroads. You have a lot of similar energies to Cancer, so if you have any Cancer in your chart, I would scoot on over there, take a gander at it if you want. Because they have, again, a lot of similar energies. You have Crossroads here. 222 could be your birthday. Twos could be very significant to you if you're born in February. That makes sense. But here we have two very clear, distinct paths. One is a little bit darker, a little bit what looks to be creepier, scarier, more challenging, more obstacles probably in the way. And then the other one is very brightly lit, well lit. It is well manicured. It is a very clear path. There's not a lot of like overhang. There's not a lot of stuff to get in your way. It's just a very nice, beautiful, sun-filled stroll. And you have the choice. And I feel like people, when they come to these crossroad moments, they get scared that they won't know which is which. Like, how will I know which road to walk down? But I feel like it's literally going to be as clear as this is. It's going to be like night and day. And you're going to be like, oh shit, well, of course I'm going to take the like golden path full of money and butterflies and beautiful flowers and fragrances and a babbling brook and all of these things. And I'm not taking all of these because it's too much. That's not ever going to happen. I rebuke thee. So Don't be afraid if you do, or if you are at a crossroads that you won't know which way to go. Lean on spirit, lean on your intuition. Talk to yourself, talk to your inner self, your higher self, source, spirit, God, whatever, whoever you get your guidance from. Uh-oh, broken ring is our tea leaf. Parting of ways in either romance or business. Okay. Firecracker on the bottom, excitement. Pow. All right. Is that where we're going to leave it? I do want to talk about this for like not very long, because if that is the case, I feel like it is this situation, and this could be like all one person rolled into one. They could have been all of these things to you at one point, and now it's like this crossroads could literally be about a relationship, about a cycle that needs to end, about an energy that is not stable. So if this is an indication of a relationship, a romantic relationship, a partnership, a friendship even, that is ending, just know that it's not because it was strong and because it was amazing and it was great and it was all of these things. It was the opposite. Whether it was sometimes masked as beautiful and great and loving and whatever, at its core, it was destructive and it was toxic, is what I'm getting. So if something broke, it was because it was meant to break, and it needed to do it in order for you to completely and fully let go and move on. Because if it hadn't broken, I don't think that you would be able to. I think you would still be holding on and like holding out hope and hanging on. Yeah. So I'm going to leave it at that, because I don't want another 40-minute reading. We can't keep doing that. The attention spans are just not here. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.